Hi, in this video, I wanted to demonstrate SaaS CG's account product solution. So what are account products? They are essentially a product-centric view of a customer's lifecycle. So using whether your organization in Salesforce has Salesforce CPQ or CPQ Lite, which is another SaaS CG product that I'll put the link into the description, either of those two CPQ tools will be able to leverage account products. And essentially what these are records that we create in Salesforce that are purely the unique intersection of the customer account and the products that they own. And from that view, we're able to view all of the transaction history, by that SKU instead of by orders. You're able to see a trend in what that customer owns at an active point in time. So what do they currently own as far as active ARR for the business and quantity, and there's other metrics too. And these are things that are continually updated. So as that product gets amended, quantities get changed or they renew over time, all of this stays up to date. So this essentially solves for two major problems if you just have Salesforce CPQ. Number one is that all of the transactional data, it's grouped by opportunities, it's grouped by orders, it's not really grouped by product. So you don't really get a sense of reporting at that product level or even product family level. Number two is that it does cost extra if you have Salesforce CPQ just to see the records of the products that customers own, particularly meaning subscriptions. So if you're, say, customer support, success, or marketing that aren't actively quoting or approving deals, you would need a CPQ license in order to see even a glimpse of this type of data. And essentially what we do is we show this data to all users, but also give it a better lens that's more useful for the business. This gets into a little bit of the data architecture, but really what this is just showing is that subscriptions, but also one-time assets, those can create account product transactions, which are essentially one-to-one detail of the records, but we just bring over the key information that we care about from subscriptions and assets. And then all of those account product transactions, those all aggregate to one unique account product. So I'll show that here in the system now. I go over to this account, and let's say I didn't have account products, and I'm a sales rep or any user, and I wanted to see what products this customer owns. I would view the subscriptions. I could sort it by product, and now it's a little bit tough to see, okay, well, I see all these subscription records, but if I'm looking at monthly video storage plan, I see that they've had quite a bit of activity against that product. As this gets amended and renewed over time, and it's tough to do the math to say, okay, what's active right now between today's date and the start and end date? What's the active ARR? It's not a great view into looking at this data, even with CPQ. So with account products, we consolidate that down. Here's our list of total products for this account. If I look at monthly video storage plan, I can still see all of those, in a sense, subscription records matching, as account product transactions with this full list. But I can now see, okay, what's currently active based off start and end dates, what's the quantity, what's the ARR, and all of that gets rolled up to this one unique record of account products. So I see the active ARR, active quantity. I even get the status view of whether it's active, whether it's been canceled or hasn't renewed, all of that. So all of that will stay updated. What we have it running on a batch job that essentially picks up all of those subscription or asset records, creates the account product transactions, and then it updates statuses and roll-ups accordingly. Additionally, we do have this as a separate add-on to account products. It's called ARR change events. This captures the sequential change in ARR over time. So as you can kind of see, it's going from 0 to 1,200, 1,200 to 1,400 as these become active and as of their effective dates. I'll post a link in the description. We go into a little bit more detail of this module in that call, but just at a glance, from these records, we're able to track the different categories of the changes in ARR, particularly whether it's net new for that account, cross-sell, upsell, downsell, price change, ARR, and churn. So great sequential tracking of that data, particularly for periods of time that you're trying to analyze. Some other use cases that we see with account products is that this can be used particularly for customer support as a use case. So they can log these account products against cases and be able to validate entitlement or support for that product and use some of that information to help with troubleshooting the case. We've also seen clients use this on their customer support portals and actually bring this data in so that the customer can actually select from a dropdown of their active account products before submitting a case, and that way it lends itself to easier routing once it gets to customer support. So there's other use cases that we've seen account products used for, just by nature of it being a unique product record. So definitely other use cases. And what I do want to mention is that these records too, they, if you have a legacy existing subscription data or you're in the middle of doing a data migration, all of that will work with our automation here. So against the product itself, we have a field on here called create account product. And this will tell our automation of whether to actually create this product as an account product or not. So for example, if you have say services implementation fees, typically those are one time, and it doesn't, we don't need to track that as an account product because we don't expect an ongoing obligation for that product. Whereas typically for subscription products that are recurring, that's the most case where we see those getting created. Sometimes if you're a company selling hardware and you need to track those details over time, that would be an example of that being a one-time product. It would create assets, but it'd still be a product that we would create account products for. And then additionally, we have fields on the contract which tell, hey, if you have existing subscription data that you want to either include or exclude for any reason to create account products, you can bring that in or not. So definitely a lot of flexibility here. But my main point with that is that you don't have to do a data migration to insert these records in. Our tool will handle all of that in for you. All right. That's all I wanted to show. Thanks for watching.